Hey, back again. Say this, I actually got a video, gonna do a video of some repair on this rendezvous here. Customer complaint is got the battery drain going dead overnight. Not overnight, but if he lets it sit for 2 nights, then it won't start that second day right now. He says he jumps it and you're on your way. If you start it the next day, it's good to go. But if you let it sit for 2 days, it goes dead. And so suspecting that there's a draw on it, and so we're going to check that out and see what we come up with, and hopefully it turns out pretty neat. But ain't a whole lot else to video, so I got this going on, and we'll see what's going on with it and if we can get her figured out. I think the first thing that I'm going to try to do is say it started right up and come in the shop, so that wasn't a problem at all. And so now what I'm going to do is gonna just try and load test that battery, see if the battery is worth anything or not, and then go from there and confirm that there is a draw on it and see if we can remedy that one way or another. So I've got the old battery tester here. Let's see if we can set this up. Alright, so right there, so far looks good. Let me put a load on her. Hold that for a little while here. Say it's kicking over kind of into the weak a little bit, but say she jumps pretty much right back. I'd say that's a fairly healthy battery. Let's see if it fires right back up after putting that load on it, and that'll tell us if it's worth anything or not. Yeah, it fired right back up. And so to me that just shows that the battery's not totally worthless. At least if you can put a quick load on it like that and then say it really doesn't lose any cranking speed. I'm sure it had a surface charge on it too from just pulling it in, but gonna say it only took a few seconds to pull it in. It didn't really charge hard or anything. But so now what I think I want to do is try to set this thing up so I can get my amp meter put in there. That looks kind of terrible as far as the setup to try to get at in there. So I think what I might do, I'm gonna put my jump pack on that instead and use that kind of as a remote battery source that I can test from instead and unhook the battery, and that'll make things a lot easier for me. Let's see, I got this old girl charging. Old Centec. There we go. Alright, I can set this up somewhere close. Pretty close. I don't think you can ask for a lot closer. I'll get this out of the way here. I think this is what I'm going to do. That opened up. Maybe I'll put my hot right there. I think I'll be good like that. And then what I want to do is put my amp meter between here and the ground, and that'll be a little bit easier, I think, than trying to monkey around and get my meter down there. So you can see just how far down that I have to get down to get my leads and everything. You know, typical GM battery post designs is not that great for testing on, but you know, they do work. So got the old trusty fluke here. It is trusty, right there, where it all started for me. Lincoln Tech student. How about that? Switch over to amps and switch my, well, I've already got my lead switched over there. I guess that's what I was doing last time, was measuring some amperage. Oh, it'd be kind of cool if you guys could see this, wouldn't it? Yeah, let's see if I can see what I can do here. See what I can do here for that. I'm just going to shove this negative lead back down into my negative battery terminal right here. I think I got that weaseled in there pretty good. And then right here, hook my booster up in series. There we go. Make sure I turn it on. We'll get down in there, and I'll undo my positive battery cable, and then that should just hook me up to my booster pack then. So I'm not actually coming off the battery to do this test. Again, just so that way it's a lot easier for me to get at. I don't know. It's the practical approach. That's what I would call it. Some people will probably argue that this is incorrect, and that's fine. Go fix your own cars. There we go. Get this positive disconnected here. Oh man, and that looks like, yeah, I hooked that up backwards like a ding dong. Let me put that back on real quick here. Okay. Let me see if I can just switch my leads here real quick. Oh, that's not good. Having my battery fall out. Maybe it's the less trusty Lincoln Tech model now. Okay. Get that set up right there. Let's see if I pull that off. Alright. Gonna have to get an assistant. Alright, I monkeyed around with that camera a lot to try and get even that good of a picture, and I still apologize for how terrible it is. But anyways, and I'll just start one at a time. I'll start over here in this corner, which you probably can't see, and move over to this corner, which you probably can't see. But you can see the meter, so at least you can follow along that way here. So start right here at this guy. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, minimal change there. Fuse 32. Front auxiliary. Ah, yeah, yep. I did see there's a little charger in there, so that's probably about that. 10 millivolts there that we saw that drop roughly. We'll go confirm that later on. Nothing. Oh, right there's a little something. Come back alive quite a bit. What did we get there? That was fuse 28 body control module. Alright, there's a little clue. Let's wait for it to go back to sleep here real quick. Hopefully real quick. Let's say we're looking for about that 70-80 milliamps is what it had there. So let's wait for it to try and drop back down, and hopefully it does. See, a lot of times you get all willy-nilly pulling these fuses, and these computers can kind of reset and stay awake and, you know, not quite act how they would normally. So hopefully everything will come back down to about that same reading we had before. There it is. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I'd say like 70, looks to be trickling kind of 74 to 82 milliamps there. Let me pull that charger they got. It looks like a cheapy aftermarket charger in there. I say 72 to 84. What did we end up with now? Oh, yeah. It's a little different. Let's see here. Not much. But, you know, we'll take what we can get. So that was body control last time there. Let's see, this guy, nothing. This guy, nothing. This guy, nothing. This guy, nothing. Nothing. Nope. Up here. Nope. And over here's, I think, a bunch of spares. 65, 66, 67. Yeah, those are spares. Come back over here. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, there's a little action. What fuse is that? Right there. Fuse 19. Ignition 3. Ignition 3. Body control module. Both dropping a little bit. And I normally, if you got a parasitic drain, I mean 9 times out of 10 the first place I'm going to start is probably looking for something aftermarket in it. And let's see what this thing's got. Maybe it's got something goofy going on with it. Somebody wired some crap into it. Let me just take a quick look real quick here. Alright, so we peeked around and looking for some aftermarket goodies on it, and I'm pretty sure I didn't see anything kind of elsewhere. I don't know how good I can get you guys to see, but up in here, let's see, right about over there, you can kind of see some signs, and I apologize that this is not the greatest, but it looks like there's some aftermarket remote start garbage is pretty much what I like to call it up in there. And so I'm thinking maybe I'll pull this off real quick and we'll look in there and see what we're up against. But that would make decent sense with that ignition fuse if we were having something in the remote start. You know, they're gonna hack into whatever they can get power off of, and all the modules that they use are just garbage. So they fail, they give you issues like this, you know, draining on the battery, so yeah, you let it sit for 2 days and then it won't start at all, you know, it's just garbage. And, you know, they just try to make these universal one-size-fits-all kits, and, you know, the vehicles got smart, a lot smarter than people thought. And say, at the same time, a lot of the crap that people are putting into these remote starts is just garbage too, so you're introducing your own problems a lot of the time. Let me see if I can get some decent video of me pulling this off. This kind of pulls off, maybe. Next one. Clip here. Whoa! Yep, there's some junk. That's how they do it too. That's how they get you. Look at all that stuff in there. Just smashed in there. Not smashed, but shoved up in there. See, zip tied up to your factory harness. All that wiring you don't want to fail that people are just hacking into. Good stuff. Well, let's see if just quick and dirty. There's maybe just a fuse in it I could pull and see if it looks like somebody's already pulled some fuses in it that are like I said, these are all really universal, a lot of these kits, so it might be for this kit that these fuses aren't needed, or what, you know, per whoever Ching Chong Chang Hong's aftermarket sweet starter kit here. Anyway, oh, right there one. Right there we got one. 2 amp. Be 2 amp. Alright. Let's see about that. And I think right now I got the door open, so probably I've got a draw here. Oh, nope. No draw. Alright. See, I think everything's asleep. Let's see. I think the customer had all the dome lights and everything already shut off there before I got to it. So, alright, so that's what we got there. We got about not half, but we got about 50 millivolts. So, I'll come over here, back around. Okay, let's see. Pull this fuse out. The one hand wonder. Man. There we go. Alright. Let's see if that did anything. How about that? There's your problem, lady. Nice. Well, there you have it. At least I think so. Maybe we do some verification, see what they're tapped into there, and see if that has anything to do with that ignition 3 fuse that we had pulled, which I would highly suspect that it does. But let's see real quick. And got the old all data here pulled up, and looking here at power distribution, and come across here, and then right off the bat has all those fuses we pulled. Right there's the front auxiliary, and we pulled that charger out, and that dropped us like the 10 milliamps. And then I pulled not all these ones, I didn't pull that one, but a few of these. But come over here, and right there, ignition 3, fuse 19, 20 amp, and that was my suspect. They were where we lost most of that draw, and so that orange comes down here to B, to ignition switch. Diagram 3 of 4. Diagram 3. And there we go. So, and then right there. Oh, sorry. Oh, right here. From ignition fuse 19 down there to the ignition switch, orange wire. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I didn't bring my flashlight. There we got some light. Oh, geez. Well, that's not even a challenge. Alright. Yeah, right off the bat right there, you see you got 2 wires. I bet if I unpull that tape that those aren't even soldered. They're probably just got the wire pierced, and then the other wires wrapped around it. And that's pretty much your genuine remote start install right there. Excellent. But right there though, you can see that they're tied into that right there. Boom, that ignition 3. Alright, that's got that. Maybe I should make sure that it still start without that fuse. That'd be kind of whole nother debacle there. Let's come back over here and double check our draw. That's still steady right there, 9 millivolts. Come in here, man, now I can show you. That's all I could do is try to show you me getting this battery hooked back up, but it's got no production value. Alright. See anything anyway. I have a wrench handy. Wrench reel here. Got that hooked back up. Okay. Now we can unhook our jump box here. Turn that off. Unhook our leads. Unhook that. Unhook that negative out of there and get my stuff all up out of the way. Alright, then we got that unhooked. That's off. Alright. Make sure it's still gonna start. Ah, excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Yeah, and so got that fuse out of there and draw one way, was still able to start the vehicle. So I imagine I'll get a hold of the customer, you know, let them know that we're just probably going to disable that and get rid of it, and that'll be the end of the remote start if you haven't asked the fob still. So it's funny because a lot of these aftermarket remote start things just stop working anyways after so long, and so the people even stop carrying the fobs. And so when the next owner gets it, they don't even know it's got a remote start system on it. So I'll be curious to see if this gentleman even knows whether or not it had a remote start system on it to start with or not. But yeah, I mean, they're just not very successful with units a lot of times. The aftermarket ones, or I shouldn't say that. I'm sure people have had their success with them, but the longevity of them is poor. And I've run into this more than once where it's something aftermarket that's draining on the battery. A lot of times, you know, it's an improper install, you know, but I don't have any schematic to look through to see if this remote start thing's installed properly, and I'm not going to go through it anyway because I'm not going to back up that repair. If there's anything in there that I find, you know, I'm not going to stand behind that whatever aftermarket remote start products in there, so that's just, you know, trouble, and I think that they'll be fine without it. But like I say, I'll get a hold of the customer and see what he wants to do and go from there, but I'm sure that he'll be pleased with that. So thanks for watching and checking out that diagnostic there. Hopefully there'll be more of that to come too. So thanks.